அகமலத்தே 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 அமல அச்சல அகமலத்தே அகமலத்தே அமல அச்சல அகமலத்தே 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 அமல அச்சல அகமலத்தே அமல அச்சல அகமுருவமாகும் அகமுருவமாகும் அறிவேது அகமுருவமாகும் அறிவேது அகமுருவமாகும் அகமுருவமாகும் அறிவேது அகமலத்தே 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 அகமுருவமாகும் அறிவேது அகமலத்தே அமலச்சல அகமுருவமாகும் அறிவேது அகத்தை அகத்தை அகற்றிடுவதால் அகத்தை அகற்றிடுவதால் அகத்தை அகற்றிடுவதால் அவ்வகமாமறிவே அகத்தை அகற்றிடுவதால் அகத்தை அகற்றிடுவதால் அகத்தை அகத்தை அகற்றிடுவதால் அவ்வகமாமறிவே அவ்வகமாமறிவே அகற்றிடுவதால் அகமாமறிவே 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 அகவீடு 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 அளிப்பதறி அகவீடு அளிப்பதறி
Namaskaram and welcome all to the series of Ramana Sudhamritam. We belong to what is called the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal Dharma. The fundamental, the basis of this Sanatana Dharma are the Vedas, and hence it is also known as Vaidika Dharma. Vedas doesn't mean the 4 books of Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva. With the root, it comes from the root Vida, which means to know. So Vedas means knowledge, jnanam, the ultimate knowledge. And it is this knowledge that is reflected. The cream of the Vedas, the message of the Vedas, is what we find in the Vedanta, in the Antima Bhaga of the Vedas, also known as the Upanishads. The knowledge reflected in the Upanishads, the knowledge of the self, the knowledge of the Supreme Being, is the ultimate knowledge, and that is the message of the Vedas. So this dharma that had the Vedas as its basis, there have been gurus from time to time who have come down to explain to the common man this message of the Vedas, this jnanam that is reflected in the Vedas. This is what we refer to as the Guru Parampara. It starts from Sadashiva himself. Lord Parameshwara is the first Guru. Shambho Loka Guru, says Adi Shankara Bhagavatpada in the Shivananda Lahari. He is a Loka Guru. From Sadashiva, it starts, this Parampara. Then it goes to Narayana, Narayanam, Padma Bhuvam. Then it comes to Brahma. In the Bhagavatam, we find a beautiful description of how the Jnanam goes from Narayana to Brahma. From Padma Bhuvam, from Brahma, it goes to Vasishtha and many sons of Brahma. Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, which are Brahma Kumaras, Narada, who is a Brahma Kumara, Vasishtha, who is a Brahma Kumara. From Vasishtha, it goes to his son Shakti. From Shakti to Parashara, from Parashara to Vyasa, from Vyasa to Shuka. Up to now, it has been from father to the son. From Shuka, because Shuka Brahman was a Jivan Mukta and an eternal Brahmachari. From Shuka Brahman, it comes to Gaudapada as a Guru Shishya Parampara. From Gaudapada to Govinda Bhagavat Pada, and from Govinda Bhagavat Pada to Shankara Bhagavat Pada. This is the Advaita Guru Parampara that we typically know of. So this Jnanam of the Upanishads, of the Vedantam, the Advaita Jnanam has come down through this parampara, has come down through this tradition. There is also the Lord, the Gita, he speaks about the parampara from him, another parampara, which he says, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavanaham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manu vikshvakave bravit. That the Lord Narayana gave it to Vivaswan or Surya, and Surya gave it to Manu, his son, Vaivasvata Manu. Manu gave it to Ikshvaku, and there was the parampara of the Jnanam in the Rajavamsha, in the Kshatriya parampara. So there have been many such paramparas of this Jnanam that has been flowing, the Jnana Ganga that has been flowing in this Punya Bhumi from time to time, from time eternal. And you find Jnanis and Mahatmas coming from time to time to bring us back this knowledge, to rejuvenate, to refresh us and take us back to this knowledge. And that is the significance of this Jnana Parampara. Just like the Lord says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. That dharmam, to re-establish the dharma, which then acts as the path towards this jnana, towards understanding this jnana. So this Guru Parampara is where we had one great jewel in that parampara was Bhagavan Vyasa, who wrote the great Brahma Sutras and brought back the essence of the Upanishads in form of sutras. Then came another avataram after many thousand years, Adi Shankara Bhagavat Pada. The shlokam itself of Bhagavat Pada says, Ajnanantar Rahanapatitan Atma Vidyopadeshaihi Tratum Lokan Bhavatava Shika Tapa Papachyamanan Muktva Maunam Vatavitapinoho Mulato Nishpatanti Shambhor Murtihi Charati Bhuvane Shankaracharya Rupa. The Lord Dakshinamurti himself, the Sadashiva, who was the propagator, the first guru in this parampara, thinking that remaining silent or Mauna Guru is no more going to be of any use, he himself came as Shankaracharya. So Shambhu. Bhu means to be. Sham means doing good. What is the good you can do to the world? This jnanam, giving this ultimate Advaita knowledge itself is the greatest good. So he did that greatest good to the world just by being in that state. Shambhu as Dakshinamurti. It is when he remained in that state of Dakshinamurti under the banyan tree is when the four Brahmakumaras, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, they came to him and they learned the Brahma Vidya, the ultimate knowledge of the Upanishads from Dakshinamurti through Mauna Bhasha. Chitram Vadataror Mole, Vridha Shishya Guru Yuva, Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam, Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha. All their doubts were cleared and this jnanam was passed on through Mauna Bhasha, through that Paravak, from the Guru to the Shishya. So Sadashiva, Dakshinamurti, stayed there in the Mauna. He just remained in that state, Shambhu. But when it came to, by the time of Adi Shankara Bhagavat Pada, he realized that it will not work just by remaining in that state. You have to also do something. So he became Sham, the Bhu, the root Bhu got changed to Kr, to do something. So he cannot just be, he has to do something. So the Kr became Kara. Shamkara, Samkaroti iti Shankaraha. So the Shambhu became Shamkara. And the beautiful life of Bhagavat Pada, in that short span of 32 years, what all he achieved, and he rejuvenated again this Brahma Jnanam, this Advaita Jnanam, this Upanishad Jnanam to all of us. Then after many thousands of years comes this Avirbhavam of Ramana Bhagavan, who not just remained in Mauna Bhasha, he remained most of his life as Mauna Rishi, Muni. He was Shambhu, but he also composed, he also spoke, he was also Shankara. Shambhu and Shankara mixed together came as Ramana Bhagavan to us in the last 150 years. Now, in this Jnana Parampara, as we said, this is all a parampara, it's a tradition. To give an analogy, if you look at trees or plants, the seeds, the trees, you'll have leaves, then you'll have flowers, then they'll become fruits, and within the fruits will be seeds. And these seeds, when they fall down, they will give rise to new plants. So this becomes the parampara from one to the other, where you can trace back. But there are also plants and vegetation that will randomly sprout. There is no such plant in the vicinity, but this plant will sprout in that area. Either the bijam has come from the rains, or they have been put by birds, or whatever be the reason, they will in an ad hoc manner, they will sprout from nowhere. Ramana Bhagavan seems to be such an Avirbhavam, because you have a parampara like the Shankara parampara where great jnanis and Mahatmas have come in. Even Ramakrishna Paramahamsa in a way belongs to the Shankara parampara, because his guru was Totapuri, who was one of the Dashanami sannyasis, the order established by Shankara Bhagavad Pada. So even the Ramakrishna Matham considers themselves to be a part of the Shankara parampara. So all these jnanis, they came in that parampara, but there have been few such Avirbhavams whom we may not be able to trace very vividly to which parampara, but they are jnanis and Mahatmas who have just emerged. And one such great Mahatma, jnani, Avirbhavam is Ramana Bhagavan. Interestingly, in his introductory shlokam to the Ramana Gita, Avyakanta Ganapati Muni, the way he describes Ramana Bhagavan, he says, Maharshim Ramanam Natva Kartikeyam Narakritim. He says, this Ramana Maharshi is none but Kartikeya himself. So from Sadashiva we saw one parampara going to Narayana and Brahma and so on. But Parameshwara's son, Kartikeya, Subramanya, Muruga, himself is a Jnana Yogi. And this you find immense references to this in Tirupugal, in the Puranas. In Tirupugal, it is the ultimate. In Andar Anubhuti, he is called as Shiva Yogi, the one who gives Shiva Jnanam, the one who gives the knowledge of the self, the ultimate Brahma Jnanam of the Upanishads. He is standing as a guru. That is why Muthuswami Dikshidhar used the term Guru Guha. He is the guru, ultimate guru, who is there to give the Brahma Jnanam, who is in that state of Brahma Jnanam himself. That is why he is Subbrahmanya. And the reference to this also comes in the Upanishads. In the Chandogya Upanishad, there is a very interesting episode where Narada goes to Sanat Kumara Maharshi and he gets the Brahma Vidya from Sanat Kumara Maharshi. Sanat Kumara Maharshi gives the Brahma Vidya or does the Brahma Vidyopadesham to Narada Maharshi in the Chandogya Upanishad. And there, Sanat Kumara is referred to as Skanda. Skanda iti achakshate. So he is referred to as Skanda. So Skanda is nothing but a form of Sanat Kumara, who is a Jnani himself, who is a Brahmajnani himself. And that Skanda, Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni says, has now incarnated in the form of Ramana Maharshi, in the form of Ramana Bhagavan. So you have one side of references where Sadashiva himself came as Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada, and here you have a reference where Subramanya, Muruga himself came as Ramana Maharshi. And that also beautifully ties in to the bhakti that Ramana Bhagavan had towards Arunachala. He used to call Arunachala my father. We will see in the story as we go ahead. He says, my father has called me, and that is why I've come to Arunachala. So very beautifully all this ties in to to give us this message that Lord Kartikeya, Subramanya himself incarnated on this earth again to rejuvenate, to refresh this jnanam, jnana bhasha, to refresh this Advaita jnanam and give it to us in the form of Ramana Bhagavan. Now we go to the place called Tiruchuri in Tamil Nadu. Tiruchuri is one of the Padal Petrasthalams, one of the important kshetras for Shiva. One of the Padal Petrasthalams means which has been sung by the Nayanmars, primarily by the movers, Tirupඥana Sambandar, Appar, Sundaramurti Nayanar. Either of them or all of them. And the Lord here is called as Bhuminatha Swami. So on the 30th of December, which is very soon going to approach, 1879, in that year, the Ardra Darshanam, Tiruvadirai, it happened on December 29th. So after the Ardra Darshanam, after the festivities and the pujas related to Ardra Darshanam, in the evening, the Lord is taken, Lord Nataraja, in the temple of Tiruchuri, is taken on a procession across the town, across the place. And after all that, he enters back into the temple well into midnight. And after midnight, at around 1 or 2 a.m., the early morning of December 30th, is when the birth of Ramana Bhagavan happens. His parents were, his mother's name is Alagammal and father's name is Sundaramayyar. This very beautifully Bhagavan refers to in the Aksharamana Malai, but in a very cryptic form, because cryptic is the way our rishis have been. The Vedas itself are in that kind of a form. Paroksha priyahiva hi devaha. That is what the Vedas say. The Devas are very fond of paroksha, of saying everything in a very cryptic way, so that only the right aspirant can understand it, right adhikari can understand it. So Bhagavan says in the Aksharamana Malai, Alagu sundaram pol, alagum agamum niyum utru abhinnama iruppom Arunachala. It's a very beautiful line. He says to Arunachala, hey Arunachala, I and you should become so intertwined, we should become so one with each other, so united with each other. Abhinnamai, Iruppom Arunachala. Agamum Niyum, this and you, both of us should become united, inseparable from each other. How? Alagu Sundaram Pol. Alagu means beauty in Tamil. Sundaram is beauty in Sanskrita. So Alagu Sundaram Pol, because they are nothing but the same word but expressed in two different languages. So me and you are just like that. We are one but expressed in two different forms as a Jivatma and a Paramatma. That's all. But we both are one. So Alagu Sundaram Pol. Alagu also refers to Goddess Parvati. She is Alagu. Sundaram refers to Parameshwara, Sundareshwara. So just like Parvati and Sundareshwara, Parvati and Shiva are so united, are so one with each other. Parvati, Parameshwara, like Ardhanarishwara, they are standing inseparable from each other. Like that, I and you should be united. In a very beautiful way, he is also indicating his parents, Alagammal and Sundaramayyar. So it's a very beautiful reference, one of the references that comes to Bhagavan's parents in the Aksharamana Malai. And it is said that when Bhagavan's birth took place, even a blind woman who was there, who was probably the midwife or one of the people who had come to help Alagammal with the delivery, who was blind, but she could see a light. She saw a light at that moment when the birth of Bhagavan took place. So this is how the Divya Avataram, the Avataranam of Bhagavan happened in Bharatavarsham for spreading this Jnanam, this Advaita Jnanam further. We shall look into this Divya Charitram of Ramana Bhagavan. We'll continue this Charitram tomorrow. Please do keep watching this series and also the upcoming sessions on Subhu's Corner. Until we meet next for the session tomorrow, Namaskara.